Hey guys, so I haven't done one of these in a couple days because I've been sick. I'm really hoping that I can fight it and get it gone soon. I have about 2 more days to get rid of it, or my surgery is going to be pushed back, which will really suck because my surgeon's going to be gone for the entire month of November. So pushing my surgery is really not an option in my case. Um, Yesterday and the day before were awful. I hadn't felt that bad in a long time, and thankfully, I feel so much better today. Still not 100%, but probably about 80 is where I would go with that. So I ended up overdoing it today. I ran from everywhere to everywhere basically. I was in Choctaw, Middle City, Shawnee, Moore, Edmond, back and forth. So I had lots going on today. One thing was that my dad's job did a lunch-in fundraiser for me today, and so I went up there and I had lunch with him and met some of his coworkers, and that was really nice. They raised $2,300 for me, and so I was just blown away that all these strangers that I don't know did something like that for me, which I'm consistently blown away by the support and the love and from everybody. Um, I never, ever, ever could have imagined the different things to somebody coming and just dropping a card with $1,000 in it on my front porch. And today somebody left me flowers on my front porch, which I think that was my mom. I'm not sure though because I haven't been able to get a hold of her, but they were the same flowers I always get her, so I'm pretty sure that's who it was from. But I'm just little things like that just make my day, especially when I'm not having a very good day, which is honestly most days that I'm not. Uh, so today I also went to one of my students' school. She was doing her speech running for class president for student council of sixth grade, and she did really great. And one of the girls there, though, just really, really, really touched my heart and got me thinking, and just broke me. And she was running for vice president, I believe, and this sixth grader that was looked like she was full of life. She looked perfectly fine. She looked healthy as can be. She looked like a normal sixth grader. And so then she gets up there and she shares the fact that 6 months ago she had found out that she had a rare type of cancer and that life was short, and so she wanted to take risk, and that's why she was running. And it was 6 months ago that I found out I had a brain tumor, so that was really close to home for me, and really hard for me to watch her up there. Um, she's so young, and gosh, it just breaks my heart. And I've never really thought, oh, this isn't fair. Why me? Until and and then I see her and I'm just like, why her? She's so young. But I look at her and I can see that she's such a fighter just by the way that she carried herself. And the crazy thing is, with people like her and I that have chronic illnesses, and things like that that's wrong with us, is that we look perfectly fine on the outside. You can't see that there's anything wrong. And we may look perfectly healthy, but we are literally dying inside. Our body is literally attacking us and killing us. And so that's something that I struggle with a lot. A lot of people also look at me like I looked at her today, like she looks just fine. Um, but that's not the case. She's really not just fine. And I even heard that from the news reporter the first time she came to my house, and she was like, "You look just fine. Like, you look healthy as can be." And, there's moments when I really wish that I had my leg amputated, or, maybe I should just shave my head, because then people would actually see and believe that there's actually something wrong with me. Um, because being ignored and being treated like we're hypochondriacs and there's nothing wrong and we're perfectly fine, is really hard. And I know a lot of people in my situation feel the same way. We do. We all do. And, chronic illness is an invisible illness, one that can't be seen on the outside, but it is terribly felt on the inside. That is just extremely, extremely hard to deal with that kind of pain and live with that kind of pain, and others not see it or understand it is definitely difficult. Um, so yeah, I've definitely have overdone it today. I am off of my medication that helps control the central spinal fluid production, because of the fact that it was literally tearing my insides apart and shutting my body down, and causing so many side effects on top of actually doing what it was supposed to. And so my pressure's coming back pretty hard the last couple days, especially with having sinus infection. It definitely does not help whatsoever. So the pressure in my head is back, of feeling like my whole head is in a compactor. And sorry for the screen doing that. I forgot my screen times out because it's not actually on the charger this time. Um, so like my head basically feels like it's completely in a compactor, and except for instead of going this way, it's going this way. Like there is a balloon inside my head, and it is just expanding and like right there at the verge of about to bust, and it just can't bust to relieve that pressure. That eyes hurting, and that the pressure behind the eyes, where it feels like my eyes are trying to pop out of my head. Um, the headaches where they actually beat with my heart, which your heart beats a lot, so that really sucks. Uh, the ringing in the ears, the floodedness in the ears, it all really sucks. The dizziness is back, and I almost actually fell off my steps, um, trying to come out of my house. So I think it's definitely time for steps with a handrail and the proper steps that I need to have. Went shopping today, trying to look for things because I have to handicap proof my house. Basically, I need to get a shower seat for my shower, and I need to put a handrail in my shower, and I need to get a recliner to sleep in because I'll have to stay elevated for a long time, and I can't afford a adjustable bed. So I'm looking for a comfortable recliner that I can actually stand sleeping in for several months. I definitely thought I had another at least 40 to 60 years before I needed to handicap proof my house. So that one's a hard one. Um, I am definitely the type that I prepare for the worst and I expect the best. And so, yes, I'm expecting to come out of the hospital perfectly fine and just like nothing happened. But I am prepared of from talking to hundreds, literally hundreds of people that have all went through exactly what I'm about to go through, and with all of their help and advice. And so I've got to be prepared just in case. I also have to figure out a schedule and plan for to find people that will actually come and stay with me, and plan that out because I can't be uh, alone for at least 2 weeks. That's surgeon's orders of I can possibly go home the next day after surgery, because each day staying in the hospital is a whole lot more money, so the longer I'm in the hospital, the worse. but I can't be alone. So that's the deal, is I can get out the next day depending on how the surgery goes. Um, but only if I have somebody that's here with me at all times. So I also have to stock my freezer full of a whole bunch of food, but unfortunately there's something wrong with my freezer, so half of it is filled with ice at the bottom because I guess there's a water leaking or something. So I've got to figure that out too. And then fill it with food that I can throw in the microwave to eat, because otherwise I'm not going to eat at all, which is basically what I do now. Um, I have to write down all my passwords and account numbers and everything. And I have to get all my bills paid now ahead of time because there are a lot of people that I've heard numerous stories of a lot of people lose their memory for up to 6 months after surgery due to pressure being really high. So I am not expecting that to happen to me, but I'm preparing for if that's going to be the case. I'm got to figure out how to do a will. I have no idea how to do that. Thankfully, the Tumor Foundation will provide me with a lawyer to get that set up, but then I've got to figure out who I'm going to give what to. Um, so that's interesting of trying to figure that out. Um, I think I should give Pastor Craig my cat. I think Pastor Craig would love my cat. If you go to Life Church, then you definitely understand my joke there. Um, Hopefully he'll see this and he'll know that I'm giving him my cat. You're welcome, Pastor Craig. Anything for you. Um, so yeah, so there's just a lot to think about and a lot to do and a lot to plan for and a lot to prepare for. And um, there's certain things that get to me, like my friend Melissa, who is about to have her, just found out that she's going to have her sixth surgery because her tumor keeps regrowing. And, that's it's a possibility and that happens. And so, um, it's really hard to grasp and see other people going through this. But there was another girl that I was actually talking to, and I love that. I go to the Tumor Foundation and I go through counseling with them, and we talk about God. And I love being able to talk about experiences with other brain tumor survivors that, um, you know, fully love the Lord and is following Him throughout every step, even through when the devil is hard, tacking hard on each person. Being able to just share stories and talk, and um, like I've been at peace, and I still am. I'm not afraid of death. If anything, I'm more afraid of the outcome after surgery. And one of the girls, she said it better than I ever could have said, and she said, being afraid of death is being afraid of heaven. And when I told somebody recently that I was not afraid of dying and that I was kind of disappointed because I was prepared to die, and I was at peace with that because I'm ready to go to heaven. And they took it as a suicidal thought process. And by no means am I suicidal, because if I was to kill myself, then I wouldn't go to heaven. So where's the purpose in that? Um, but I'm not afraid of death because I'm so excited to go to heaven. I'm so excited to be able to stand next to Jesus and be with God. And so, that's her saying that was so true, that it truly is, as if you're to be afraid of death is being afraid of heaven. And so I really loved being able to talk about stories, and her and we had a great conversation about God clearly speaking to her and how God clearly spoke to me and sent a stranger to specifically speak to me after he'd already spoke to me in my heart, but he knows that I always have to have validation. And I'm so thankful that God gives me that because I definitely need it, and I know He doesn't do that for everybody. Um, this this week's been just kind of a whirlwind of getting everything prepared and ready, and part of me is like, I need more time. I've got so much to do, and then the other part of me is like, can it just be surgery time already? Can we just get this over with? Because that would be great. So, that's really all that I think I have today. I'm probably forgetting 5,000 things. Oh, I'm also chopping my hair off, so that's another thing. Um, Backtracking now. So, if you have any ideas of what you think that my hair would look good, um, then I'm definitely taking all suggestions because I've never chopped my hair off really short. So, that's going to be a new one, but considering the fact that, like, I'm going to have a cut from the bottom of my neck to the middle of my head, um, I think that getting my hair cut is going to be necessary. So I think I'm going to do like a bob or something, where it's longer in the front, but then like super duper short, like the short in the back, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to dry my hair or straighten my hair for months while that's healing. And so I'm going to need something easy. So this hair that I have been working really hard on growing out, which I know is still not that long, but that's going to be a huge, huge difference, cutting here to there. So I'm going to check out to see how much hair has to be cut for locks of love, or I think that's what's called, where you donate hair, whatever it is, something locks. Because I would really love to be able to do that. That'd be amazing. So another thing is that I'm fighting with the insurance company. So my insurance will be valid November 1st. My surgery is October 30th. They are now telling me that they can't find my first original denial letter of where I was denied insurance in the first place. Even though I've given them my application ID and I have the paper in front of me. So yeah, so that's fun. Um, they're trying to make it, there it goes, timing out again. They're trying to make it retroactive, which means that they will actually backdate the time of the surgery. So if that is the case, then hopefully they think that they will back it up to October 1st, which means that my surgery will be covered through insurance, but not fully covered, mind you. I still have the 80/20, which means that the 20 part will be um, a little bit more than a little bit over $30,000. Plus, I will have another $12,000 on top of that for fees. The surgeon is waiving his fees, but that's only about $10,000 out of the $170,000 for the surgery. So a lot of people are really getting mistaken with that and not understanding that my full surgery is not being covered. The hospital's not waiving their fees, the anesthesiologist team's not waiving their fees. There's the actual surgical equipment, there's the medications, there's the tumor will have to be sent off to a lab to figure out what type of tumor it is. If there's additional surgeries that's not covered, the nursing team, the all the technicians, like the entire surgical team other than him. So, you know, so I wanted to make sure I clarify that yes, he is blessing me so much by waiving his fees, but even more just by doing the surgery here is, and doing the surgery in general is just the biggest blessing that I could ever think of, even if I had to pay him. Just him reaching out and knowing that he's here and doing my surgery and everything is the biggest blessing that I could think of from him. And so yes, so fundraising. My friends are still fundraising and they are still continuing that, and I couldn't do it without them. And I know that I'm hard to handle sometimes, and it doesn't help that my thought process is very screwed up, and my memory is very screwed up, and my thought process isn't like it should be. My emotions are not like they should be because this tumor affects all of that. Um, it, it is, it really sucks. Um, so I'm thankful for those that put up with me and stick by me throughout all of it. And I'm just I try my hardest every day to be normal. And, which isn't easy when you're not normal and you can't think like everybody else thinks and do things like everybody else does. Um, it's it's getting scary. Tonight I was driving and I saw the sign before the stop sign that tells you to like the stop sign's coming up. Um, my mind kind of just completely, the thought process just went away and I stopped at the first sign of the stop sign's coming up. And then I stopped and it was literally about 5 seconds before I realized that's not where I stopped. That's just the warning part. And things like that are becoming more frequent. And I'm not gonna cry. Uh, yeah, it's like, if I tell myself I'm not going to, then I don't, like I have some magic power over that. But yeah, so I'm definitely ready to get this out of my head so I stop feeling stupid. Um, yeah, so I'm really just sick of those things coming up more and more and more, and I'm so ready to start working out again. If you know me, you know that I have been on this weight loss journey of getting healthy, and I have been doing everything I could to get in the best shape I could and get healthy as I can. And I was an avid weightlifter and fell in love with that a while ago. And uh, so I've been out of that for about 3 months now, and I'm so frustrated because that stupid medicine that I was on um, actually attacks the muscles and breaks down the muscles. And so all that I worked for and all the muscles that I worked so hard to gain got destroyed in just such a small time to where carrying my water bottle, yes, granted that my water bottle's huge, um, because I have to drink a whole lot of water a day. Just carrying that is difficult anymore. That um, it's too heavy, and my arms will physically be sore afterwards. And so, just remember that anybody with a chronic illness, that they may look perfect on the outside, but they're really not on the inside. It's just like when you have a very depressed, go through a very depressed state in a very depressed time, that you may look fine on the outside, but on the inside you might be literally dying. And so for us, we literally are dying inside. So yeah, so that's all that I have. If you have hair suggestions, please, I'm taking those. If you have questions that you want to know, anything that you want to know, I am an open book now, whether I like it or not, because God is telling me to be one, and so y'all know my most vulnerable things now anyway, so go ahead and ask anything you want. Please give me something to actually talk about so I don't ramble. Um, so yep, so that's all for me. I hope you all have a great night. Thanks.